Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So I'm looking at the second eBay unknown XR80 or XR75 motor. The first one, I don't know, you might have seen the video today, yesterday, tomorrow. Sometimes they don't get put up in order, but anyway. So this is the second engine I picked up from that person. You guys might remember the first one right there. This is an XR75. Once again, really pretty, right? It's got the bolts. 1, 2. I think you're seeing them both. Underneath, the bolt holes to hold the foot pegs are nice. The drain plug is nice. The Kickstarter is on here. Shifter levers on here. These aren't stripped or welded. I've already tried to put it into gear. It goes right into gear. I mean, it looks like it's in really, really nice condition. But looks could be deceiving. And once again, the clutch feels like it's got something there. I could put the compression checker on it and went to turn it over, and you guys could see the reading I got. 0. I've never had an engine come in at 0. And for those of you who could guess, you might have guessed already that she has a thrown rod. I put this piece of plastic tubing in here. Right now it's at top dead center, and let's say I turn it right 180 away from that, the tubing hasn't gone down, right? And I go back up, right? You can see the tubing is not moving. So she threw a rod for some reason. The timing chain is in nice shape. The valves appear to be adjusted. I mean, the intake's slightly loose, but the exhaust appears to be adjusted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart to see why it threw a rod. Doesn't look rusty. So this engine's going to have a part 2. I got to get the top of it off to see what transpired. And I'm not quite sure I'm gonna do that today. And the reason why I'm in no hurry to do it is I'm not dying for an XR75 motor. I'm to put the two bikes together, these two bikes together, I needed an XR80 motor, and I got that, and it looks like I have good compression, and it's all well and good. So right now I'm not dying for an XR75 motor. One thing I was going to check, and there it is. I need a front tire for this thing, and I was going to check the size. So 2.50 by 16, 4-ply. I got to see what they cost. That one, both tires are holding air. The other one, not. You guys will see from, well, the hoard of stuff all over the place. What I like to do, I like to have a bunch of projects going on at the same time, and that allows me to kind of search for parts. If I find for myself, if I have one project and I'm focusing on it, the good thing about it is it gets done a heck of a lot faster. But the bad thing about it is I have a tendency to spend too much money on parts, because given that I'm focused on it, right, it suddenly all my coin is going to parts for that one item. Or if I have multiples going, like I was able to get a deal on these two motors. And I consider it a deal when you get them for $100 each. This one, if you figure I spent $256 on the pair, this one was more than worth that all by itself. The XR80 motor was worth the $250. You guys know I'm 99% sure it's going to be a sweet running motor. I'm going to smash it onto that frame there, and it'll be running in no time at all, hopefully over the next few days. So you know, these motors are well over $300 each in running condition, especially when they contain some of the extra details, the intake manifold, the spark coil with the capacitor, and in this case I also got a shift lever, and though the kickstart is broken, or the shaft is missing, I have the starts of a Kickstarter. So anyway, even if I just took a couple of parts off of that, put it on this to complete this motor a little bit more, I'm further ahead at spending all the money there and calling this motor a freebie. There's a lot more than free here. I'm not quite sure why it threw a rod. Normally it's running them low on oil. I don't know if you guys, how much you looked up here. It looks really pretty clean. Normally when they run on low on oil, I mean that looks, you see burn stuff in there. You see scarring on the cam. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm seeing what looks to be a very nice head. It is missing. The fin's got a little damaged. It smells like good oil. It doesn't smell like burnt oil. So I'm really, I guess my curiosity is getting the better of me. I'll take it apart and show you guys what the inside of it looks like to see why it threw a rod. Should be easy enough to figure out. Once again, normally they throw a rod because they've been run low on oil. But I'm lucky because I don't feel any damage. But I got to get it apart to be sure. So wish me luck when we get that far. It was interesting. This one didn't have a spark plug in it, and the engine bolt was loose and all. I think somebody did some troubleshooting on this one, and it might be why he was happy to let him go as a pair, figuring if I bought this one and not that one, whoever bought this one would get kind of cranky if they realized it had a thrown rod. But when you buy the two of them, you can kind of average them out and be a little bit more content. So there's the story. Unknown eBay engines. I bought two. Got them both real cheap, right? But it looks like one's going to be a winner, and one, I don't know. Let's say I just bought that for $128. Was it worth it? I guess it depends. I have a buddy out there who loves XR75s. He can answer this question. Is $128 for an XR75 engine with a thrown rod, but all the cases look good, everything looks good on it, is that worth $128? My lean is probably for parts, but I don't know. XR75 motors are also getting a little harder to get. It seems like it's pretty easy to get an XR80. There's a million of them out there. XR100s, they seem to be a lot of them out there, but they want more money for them than the XR80s or 75s. Let me know what you guys think. Folks, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now, folks.